Everyone, welcome back to the next video. In this video I will show you how to create or reload a control center widget in Flutter iOS application. So let's get started. So what we will be doing is first creating a control center widget, and we will be reloading that widget as well. So like the use case which I'm taking is I'm just storing a value, like a key value, inside something called user defaults. It is similar to shared preferences, but we can't really use shared preferences because the code to write control center is completely in Swift, and I don't know if shared preferences behind the scenes uses user defaults or not. It may or it may not. But even in user defaults we need something called suite name, so that we can share data between our main application as well as control center. Now you don't have to use user defaults. I have just taken one example. You can use core data, Swift data, or maybe fetch the data from your API as well. But just to keep things simple, I'm storing data inside user defaults. So I will just have one button, and on click of it we will just increment the value and store it inside user default and display it inside a text, and we will see display that particular value inside our control center widget as well as increment it from control center widget. And if we increment it from our app, our control center widget should also get automatically updated with the latest value. So yeah, that's what this tutorial is all about. So let's get started. So as usual, I have just created one Flutter application, and you just have to go to this main.dart file, and here I have imported this Flutter services.dart. So you just have to add this particular import. Then rest everything remains the same, which is the boilerplate code. I have just refactored this my homepage widget. So it is a stateful widget, and here I have created a method channel called increment counter platform. And here I have just assigned this value, default value, as 0. So as soon as this init state method is called, so inside the init state we just call get value. So here I have a function called get value, and here we just invoke a method called get counter. So the method channel with same name as well as this method name, you will have to define it on native iOS side, which I will show you shortly. And once we get the value, we just update it inside our state of data. Then if you check the build method, here I have just one text button, and on press of it we just do increment counter channel dot invoke method increment counter. So here we just another method called increment counter, and so I have defined two methods, one to get the actual value inside the init state, and one to actually increment, and the once it is increment, it gives the updated value as well. So again, which I set it inside our data variable. So here is the text for our text button. Then here is the another text element, so I just do data dot toString, and here we just display the text type. So here color is color red and font size is 20. Then what you need to do is you need to go to the app delegate.swift file, which is present inside the iOS folder. And here first we have to create this method channel of Flutter result. Here I'm using user defaults key. Now this is very important. Key with same name have to be used on control center widget as well, like once we create the control center widget. So do remember this key. If you decide to change it here, you will have to change in other places as well. Then I'll just move this a bit. So here you can see, now you will see this bit of code already present, and this particular line of code as well. So in between these two lines we have to add this bit of code. So first we have to get hold of our Flutter view controller. Then here we have this Flutter method channel, and this is the name of our Flutter method channel, and here we are just passing our binary messenger as well. Then we just do increment counter channel dot set method method call handler, passing our actual method call as well as the result. Then here we if do call dot method increment counter, and here we just get hold of our user defaults. Now you will have to change the bundle identifier of your Flutter application to something like this. So for that, what we will do is we just go inside our Flutter application, go to the iOS folder, and double click on this .exe workspace to open it inside Xcode. And here you will have to specify the same bundle identifier. Again, it's up to you what you want to specify. So I'll just copy this. Okay, we don't need to copy the group. We go to runner. We are doing this because if you see over here, just to come back here, you can see I'm not using user defaults dot standard. I'm using user default suite name because I need to share the data from our main application with our control center. So I want to use the same instance of user defaults. That's why we are doing this. So just go to Xcode, and here you will have to go to sign in and capabilities. First I'll just change this bundle identifier to something like this. Then we'll have to click on this plus capability. We have to select app group. Here you can see, and here you will have to click on this plus button, and here you can see we already have the group dot, and I'll just again paste my bundle identifier. I'll click on OK. Then let's go back over here. So here we get hold of our user defaults. We get the value out of our user defaults. If there is no value, we get 0. Okay, and here we just increment it by 1. We set it inside our user defaults, and this send the value back to Flutter side. If there is no value, I send it back 0. Now again, to get the value, again we are doing the same thing. We are getting hold of our user defaults. We get the value out of it, and here we just directly send the value. We don't need to increment it because this is called inside the init state, and this is called on the text button click. Okay, so yeah, that's it. Now what you will have to do is we'll have to create a control center widget, right? So for that you will have to go to Xcode. You can't do this from VS Code. You have to open Xcode, go to file, new, target, select iOS, and just search for widget. So here you can see widget extension. Click on next, and here you can give whatever name you feel like. I'll just give it as flut app widget. Give some proper name. Here you can just uncheck this include live activity. Make sure you include this control as well as include configuration app intent. So these two are necessary. Then just click on finish. Let's just wait, and here you will have to click on activate as well. Now inside the bundle, so here you can see it has automatically selected our like this extension, control center widget extension. So here also we have to add the same group. Now here if you see the bundle identifier, apart from our app bundle identifier, it has also added this widget name. So while adding to the app group, you don't have to add the widget name, you just have to add your bundle identifier. So I'll just add app group to this as well, and click on this plus button, and group dot paste your bundle identifier, click on OK. Now here is our app widget. I'll just close this. I'll close this as well, and here is our flut app widget. Okay, sorry, I'll just open this, and I'll just close this. I don't need this canvas. Okay, now let's have a look. Okay, so in this file, firstly actually we don't need to do anything in this file. Okay, so ignore this. Then here you see this control, sorry, here there is this bundle file which I just want to show it to you, and here you can see there is this iOS widget as well as this iOS control. So we are interested in this control, so we just have to open this particular file, and inside this file first I'll just add something like this. Okay, I don't need this, sorry about that. So here you just have to add this user defaults. Again, this make sure you have entered the proper suite name. So group dot whatever is your bundle identifier, and the user defaults key. So this should be the key, should be the same what we have defined it on native iOS side inside the app delegate. Now here by default they have given this control widget toggle, which I don't like. It's pretty much useless in our case. So we will be defining a button, because on click of the control center widget we want to increment the value, right? That's why. Also over here I'll just change this back to runner, because when I run the application it should run the entire application and not just the widget. Then next what you need to do is you just need to paste this bit of code. So here is our control center widget. Now at least at the time of me recording this video, control center only supports two types of parent widget, like this control widget toggle as well as control widget button. So you can't use any Swift UI widget. Inside that you can use text or image, but don't try to go crazy using some other random Swift UI views or something like that. Okay, so there is limitation to that. So here we have so on click of our button we are just doing this particular action, right? Increment intent. So we need to create a Swift file for this. So again I'll just copy this, and I'll just right click. I can just do new empty file. Again, create it from Xcode only, don't create it from VS Code. So we'll come back to this file. So once our button is clicked, automatically this increment intent will be called. And if you see what we are doing over here, so we are getting again hold of our user defaults. If there is no value, I'm just getting 0, and here we just display whatever is the value inside our text widget. And here is some image of a cup and saucer. Here you can change the description as well as the display name to whatever you feel like, maybe something like coffee intake or tea intake, whatever you are trying to track inside your control center widget. Next we need to go to this particular file over here. Inside this particular file I'll just paste this bit of code. So here we are importing foundation as well as app intent, and here is our struct which extends from app intent. So this is how click listener on a button works inside a control center widget. You can't directly write the action which you want. Here is, you will have to give some title. I have just given it as increment t intake. You can change it to whatever you feel like. Again, this is very important. The key should be the same what you have defined earlier, and this method will get automatically called once you click on your button. So we are overriding this method from this app intent. So here again we get hold of our user default. So we just do group dot our bundle identifier. Then we get current value inside from our user defaults. We just increment it by 1, and we set inside our user defaults, and we at the end we just do return dot result because it requires some intent result. That's why I think that should be it. There is one more thing which we need to do. All right, so the next thing which you need to do is just go to your project, go to build phases, and go to select runner, and here you will have to move this embed frameworks above run script as well as this embed foundation extension above run script as well. So just drag and drop this. Hopefully this should work. I'm getting some error. Why is it? Yeah, this is just a yeah, it has gone. We have already created. So I'll just try to build this on a simulator and come back. If there is any error, I'll let you know. There are two important steps which I forgot to tell you. First one is you will have to go to app-delegate.swift, and here first you will have to import widget kit, and then you will here inside this increment counter you will have to write control center dot share dot reload controls, and here you will have to write the bundle identifier of your widget. So to get that, again you can just go to Xcode, and here you can go to your widget. Sorry, you'll have to go to your app over here. Here you will have to select your widget over here, go to sign in and capabilities, and here you can see it is typically your app bundle identifier followed by your widget name. So yeah, you will have to just copy this and paste it over here. So make sure you don't forget this line as well as this particular import. Now other thing is control center widget are only available from iOS 18. So you will again have to go to general and go to runner. So the main target of your app, you will have to click on this plus button, and everywhere you will have to make 18.0 18.0 18.0. so this is also important, otherwise Xcode will throw an error. So here you can see this is the output. So I'll just click on this increment counter. So I have clicked on it thrice. Now I will create a control center widget. So you just have to move this down, click on this plus button, click on add a control, and here you can see this is our Flutter app widget, right, named timer, and I'll just drag and drop this. Okay, so ignore this, like I think I have this, it has maintained the state from my previous I think I'll have to just reset everything. Okay, let's just give me a second over here. I'll just reset my simulator and then I'll run the application and come back. I think it has I mean that's the problem with running with simulator. You get this kind of weird results given that control center is still pretty new. So yeah, I'll just quickly rerun the application and show you guys the output. Also one more thing which I want to clarify is once we increment the value from our app, then it will reload that inside our control center widget. Once we increment it from control center, we are not really reloading our app. I don't know how to do that. So yeah, I'm just to give you guys a heads up. So let's just wait for this to come back, and then I'll install the application and show you guys the output. Just click on this increment counter again. So I've clicked on it 4 times. I'll just go back, I'll just open this, I'll click on this plus button, I'll click on add a control, and here I'll just select FlatApp. Here is our timer, and here I'll just so here you can see number of t is 4. You can drag and drop, like drag it from the side just to see the entire thing. Okay, now if I click on this, here you can see value is 5, value is 6, and if I go to my FlatApp, now my FlatApp, like I'm not incrementing the counter if it like it was still in background, right? It like I have not reopened the app, that's why the init state was not called. But now if I try to increment it, the value will directly jump to 7. Here you can see, and if I go to counter control center, I mean, it should display the value 7. Here you can see, if I make it 8 9, like I said, this value is not getting reflected. If I completely close the app and relaunch it, if I just show it to you, then it will display 9. Here you can see, if I increment it, now it is 10. Here you can see it is 10. So hopefully you got the point. That's it. Thank you for watching. Bye.